Only those who show up determine 70% of our local property taxes. The Newton-Kingston Taxpayers Association is urging all taxpayers to take part in voting for our school budgets and other warrant articles in the local elections, which take place here in New Hampshire in the spring. The costs and payments for our schools and our towns are determined in a local two-part process, with a vitally important meeting in February and an equally important voting at the polls in March. The local school budget accounts for about 70% of our property taxes. The budget is determined in a two-part process governed by the New Hampshire SB2 law. The first part is the early February deliberative session, which sets the proposed budget for vote in March. Both votes are open to all citizens, and only those who take part determine our property taxes. The first part, the deliberative, has only in-person voting. There are no absentee ballots. It is a town hall type meeting held at the Sanborn Regional High School in Kingston, where there is a large, comfortable auditorium. Everyone who attends the deliberative session should be prepared for what could be a long night of important discussions and votes to finalize the school budget and other warrant articles. The discussions are moderated by the school district moderator. Also in attendance will be the administration, the school board, and the school budget committee. The road to the deliberative session is months of budget scrutiny, setting of goals, and attention to what is needed for the kids and for the taxpayers who foot the bills. Before the deliberative, the school board gives budget and other goals to the administration. The administration then prepares and submits its requested budget to both the school board and the school budget committee in November. The school board then makes their recommendations as to the size and scope of the budget to the budget committee. The school budget committee, which has the charter to prepare and present the school budget, reviews the proposed budget and past spending and creates their recommended budget for consideration at the deliberative. A public hearing held in January precedes the final determination of the proposed budget and the school board warrant articles. Only the citizens who attend the deliberative session have the power to make motions and change the budget and other warrants, and to ultimately make the final decisions that will be presented to the voters in March. Last year, only about 300 out of thousands of eligible voters attended. The deliberative session can increase or decrease the proposed operating budget so long as any increase in the budget is not more than 10%. Also during the deliberative session, there will be many explanations, discussions, and debate on each article in the school district warrants. Anyone present can make comments and voice any concerns. The moderator of these sessions sets the rules and procedures for the meeting, but the moderator's rules can be changed and the decision of the moderator can be altered by a majority vote. How is the voting handled at the deliberative session? First, only those voters present may vote. There are no absentee ballots. Voting at the deliberative session must be by secret ballot if 5 or more voters present provide a written request for a secret ballot. This has been the case in the recent past, as many voters do not want their position on the budget to be a public vote, but instead have preferred the secret ballot. Votes during the deliberative session can be reconsidered and re-voted on later in the meeting after the first vote has already been completed. Sometimes these votes have occurred long after some people have left the session. This has caused concerns in the past from voters that did not have the ability to stay on to the end of the meeting, of their being disenfranchised simply because they had to leave the session after the initial vote. In the recent past, after sufficient discussion, this concern has been addressed by motions to block reconsideration. If such a motion passes, then that item cannot be re-voted on. Once the deliberative session ends, the final results will be sent before the voters for the ultimate decision at the polls on the second Tuesday in March. To truly and fully participate in the self-governance provided under SB2, citizens need both to attend the deliberative session and also to vote in the actual election. The deliberative makes the decisions as to what the voters will see on Election Day. On Election Day, voters will vote either yea or nay on the decisions that were previously made at the deliberative. The result will set the property taxes for the coming year. This has been brought to you by the Newton-Kingston Taxpayers Association. To learn more, see our website or Facebook page. Thanks for listening. An informed voting community is the core of democracy.